Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May the peace, blessings, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on all of us. My dear brothers and sisters, it's truly an honor, it's truly a privilege to share some important, incredible, and a very significant verses which has a great correlation, a great connection with our lives, not in this world, the world, ultimate world thereafter. So, from quite a long time, I was trying to cover up a series of the creation of Sayyidina Adam and Sayyidina Eve, alayhi salatu wasalam, which has given the glorious Quran, all those verses, all the chapters. So I bought a book, and inshallah I'll be covering this series, and you can just follow me on the Twitter, you can follow me on the Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, inshallah, so that you'll get the link and you'll get all those updates of this wonderful creation of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. My dear brothers and sisters, we need to really understand why Sayyidina Adam was created, why he was sent down on the earth, and his creation basically, and the purpose for which he was sent down on the earth, really has a great importance in our lives. Because Sayyidina Adam, he was a deputy, he was a Khalifa. So are we the deputies, so are we the Khalifas. So we need to understand our roles, the purpose we have been sent down, our responsibilities, and the set of commands, set of instructions, set of principles, set of guidelines, and set of rulings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Why you have to lead this life in line with those set of commands, with those set of principles, with set of rulings. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will dwell us in the paradise, which will be truly a wonderful honor, a wonderful privilege for the mankind, my dear brothers and sisters. So we'll go to chapter number 2 and verse number 30 and 31. Inshallah, try to understand from these two wonderful verses why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about this wonderful creation of Sayyidina Adam and Sayyidina Eve. Let's try to focus on these two verses, and this is verse number 30 in chapter number 2 Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And remember, now this is addressed to the beloved Prophet, and the verse is revealed to the beloved Prophet, and it's a conversation basically which is between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most high and the most merciful, and the angels. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels that I am going to, verily I am going to create a Khalifa on the earth. لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ Khalifa. And what the angels basically says, قَالُوا أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ, that are you going to place someone who is going to create the mischiefs, who is going to create the evils, who is going to create the bloodshed on the earth? My dear sisters, why this was state of shock, state of surprise to the angels? Because they know that this Adam and this mankind, this human race, have the tendency of committing all these evils and all these mischiefs, all this corruption, all this killings and all these massacres and all these kind of bloodsheds. And that's what we're basically seeing, bloodshed everywhere, my dear sisters, throughout the globe, and which was earlier predicted by the angels. And furthermore, they say that we glorify you with your praise and we also sanctify you. They are saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are also glorifying you, we sanctifying you with all your praise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. He says that I know indeed you know not. What's in my knowledge? What you conceal and what you reveal. What's there in the heavens, what's there in the earth, what is there in between the space lying between the heavens and the earth, and this innumerable vast universe, my dear brothers and sisters, that is beyond our imagination. What we basically are able to cite is only what the scientific research is telling us this globe is all about. Beyond that, there's a vast universe, and maybe in the future the science is going to reach to that level where they will tell us how big is this universe. But it is in fact a big universe, my dear brothers and sisters, which is all in the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what is in my knowledge is not in your knowledge. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and furthermore he says, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ أَعْرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught all those names to Sayyidina Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And he said to the angels, tell me the names of all those things if you are true in your claims. So my dear brothers and sisters, the true wonderful the lessons from these two verses of the glorious Quran about the creation of Sayyidina Adam, Sayyidina Eve, is that we are the deputies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what do you mean by deputy? What do you mean by Khalifa? The deputy is somebody who has been deputed to carry out certain commands. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a mission, He has given us the commands, He has given the rulings, He has given us the set of directions, the principle, and all these, what it was, the protocols of leading life, and we have to lead the life in line with those all the protocols, in line with those all those principles, so that we succeed in this world and the world thereafter. And we have to also carry this mission, carry this message, carry these divine laws, these divine rulings, these divine commands, these principles to the others also. And we have to also convince the others, my dear brothers and sisters, those who are least in knowledge about all those divine rulings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And furthermore, we have to also understand that this Iblis may whisper us, and he may say us that I am your best mentor, I am your best counselor, I am your best advisor, I am showing you the true path, and he is going to do all these tactics, my dear, the kind of a trap that he is going to lay to convince us that we are going to do something better. But these verses, my dear brothers and sisters, must trigger our hearts and trigger our souls, and then we must feel immediately that there is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, that somebody who create the evils or the bloodshed or these all the kind of mischiefs on the earth, basically he is on the side of shaitan, on the side of Iblis. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to create us, He has created us on this earth, we will die on this earth, and we will be resurrected from this earth. Here this life is basically a test and trail, my dear brothers and sisters, and on top of the agenda, what we must understand basically why we have been sent down on this earth. And here in this story, inshallah, I'm going to cover up all those verses of the glorious Quran which mention about the creation, this wonderful creation of this Khalifa, this deputy, this naib who has been sent down on the earth, so that we ultimately understand the purpose, the goal for which we are basically live today. And we have to really quickly understand, and inshallah we have to quickly introspect, and we have to quickly lead a life in line with those those directions, those goals, those commands, those rulings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we succeed in this world and the world after. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.